let's move on that note. Let's talk about Xavier Nwankpa for Iowa. Play safety. And you know what? Last year was his first year starting, and we both talked about it, right? And I remember this. In the Iowa preview from last year, we talked about, okay, they got a new safety in there. All right, like what's going to be the deal with this guy, right? We knew that he was highly recruited, right? Why hasn't he been playing if he has all this talent, right? But I think we were both high on him. We're like, yeah, like the reality is Phil Parker is so freaking good at his job that
Doesn't
he's going to
matter.
get Xavier Nwankpa with that talent. Like he can't mess this up, right? There's no
Yeah,
way. Well, I mean, turns out Nwankpa was absolutely a monster this year for them on a defense that was, I mean, yes, loaded in talent, but also I think there were already high expectations for Iowa heading in next year defensively, but I dare I say they exceeded those expectations? You know, they at least met them for sure. For how
well,
hyped that I mean, it was fantastic, and it was hugely in part to Xavier Nwankpa.
it was more so too. Just I mean, how bad that offense was. Like even like it bottomed out worse than we thought there was. We did not. We thought there was a floor on this offense for Iowa, and there was not. It just kept falling. And you look at that Nebraska game, like the Illinois game, even the Minnesota game. They should have probably won. Um, that Northwestern game, they somehow won. Like they somehow won. But it's that defense and Nwanka. I'm sorry, Nwankpa and Quinn Schultz back there as a safety duo is tremendous. I love that duo there because Schultz, your free safety, he's going to be in the right spot. You're not going to get beat deep, but Nwanka can be that athlete, can be that guy that's rangy and physical and instinctive and just fly around the field and make plays, has up at the line of scrimmage, pass breakups. He's really good in man, um, which is just really impressive, obviously, for a young safety as well. I I do think there's going to be a jump here in year three again, or at least like if you maintain or that upward trajectory that he's on right now, you're going to have some NFL scouts just drooling over his tape and his potential there.
Yeah, he's nuts. I mean, was he actually a 5 star coming out of high school? I thought he was a 4 star.
Yeah, he was a 5 star. I mean, 24/7 had him a 5 star. He was top safety, obviously number one player in Iowa. It was a massive, massive recruiting. It was like down to official visits went to Notre Dame, A&M, Ohio State, and then Iowa got one. And then literally a week before signing day, he committed to Iowa and they hung on to him and he enrolled early. And obviously the rest is history for them. But that's, again, that was big time in-state win for them. And it's awesome that's paid out for him and for the Iowa Hawkeyes as well.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at his stats here. I mean, like it's not like the numbers pop off, right? If you look at the box score stats, you're like, oh, he only had one interception and two pass breakups. Nah, he was everywhere, folks. He was everywhere.
Yeah.
Impacting, a lot more ways than just, with his ball skills.
Yeah. I would also, I do think I'm interesting. Like you lost Cooper DeJean, right? And he had a lot of flexibility there with Castro and obviously the two safety duos. You had a ton that you could do with Phil Parker and the defensive staff. I do think like I'm not gonna say he's gonna have that like impact that DeJean had because obviously DeJean was special teams and you have to try him on off. Like he is obviously like game change, game breaking, like all American stuff. I'm not gonna put that expectation on um Nwankpa, but I do think that his athleticism, his instincts, like he's gonna allow you to do things. And maybe in year two starting, you could see them start to test out the limits and what he can do and how much trouble he can give opposing offense coordinators and quarterbacks. I mean, you look at their schedule they play. I mean, you got to play Iowa State, right? And they're going to throw the ball. They're going to do some things as you get it home, which is nice, obviously. But yeah, you got some teams that could be slinging it this year. I mean, you're out of the Big Ten West, so you're going to have to play defense in that secondary and take some risks maybe and whatnot. So I do think he's going to be a big time player for them this year, which is not a hot take at all, obviously. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I do want to also note the fact that what is that? 838 snaps on the year, which is nuts. Just a testament to how much that defense was on the field. Yeah,
great.
357 of those snaps were in the box. 235 of them were at free safety. and 243 of them were in the slot. You want to talk about versatility? I mean, there you have it. There you have it.
Hmm.
So just looking at the his pre-snap alignment, you understand like the value that he has in this team and where he goes. I mean, I don't know the method to Phil Parker's madness, but it works. And if he values Xavier Nwankpa enough to play him on all three of those positions quite frequently, actually pretty evenly for the most part,
Yeah.
then I'm just gonna say he's a unbelievably versatile player that's ready to take another leap, like you were talking about.